Hi, welcome to my kitchen here at Angel's Nook. Many of us have fallen in love with the inspiration photo that's been all over Pinterest, all over the internet, which you'll see as an inset on this video at this point. That particular kitchen was not one color. It was done by a designer who is also an artist and has multiple layerings of paint colors, including, believe it or not, some red, and then black as the accent over it to create the antiquing. To create that brighter blue, I mixed 1 part Capri and 1 part Mediterranean so that the center of my doors would brighten up like that inspiration picture does. And then I hand rubbed the antiquing on so that I could get the uneven, sporadic application you can see in that particular kitchen. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that antiquing process. Please, for your benefit, watch that entire section because I talk to you about things you want to do and not do while you're applying it, how to come farther down into the doors, or if you want to have it shorter or you make a mistake, the very end of that is going to show you how to correct when you maybe see it a day or so later or a week later or even a month later. You can fix it quickly, easily, and the door blend in. This is not something you can look at 5 seconds of the video and go, oh, I see what she's doing, I got it. It's honestly really important, the order in which I do the sections of the door. It keeps you from smearing up, smudging, and blobbing the antiquing on the door. So I really hope this helps those of you that want to do a kitchen with that finish on it. It's fun, it's enjoyable, and in different lights, in the antiquing itself on this tutorial, it's going to look streaky. But when you look at my doors in an upright position and how the light plays on it, that goes away, which is why it's applied the way it is if you're doing it horizontally. It's honestly easier to apply it upright. Please practice on something else before you start working on the actual kitchen doors. And please wait 48 hours after your last coat of paint before you start applying any of the antiquing to your doors. You risk lifting the original paint if you don't. And that's so frustrating, so avoid it, please. Thanks for joining us here, and please subscribe. It really helps us. You guys are seeing ads, but we're not yet getting any benefit from those ads. So please help us out and give us a subscription. It costs you nothing. I hope you noticed I did not go all the way across with that line up against the edge because it will dry too quickly for you to be able to smooth it out, and you don't want a cross line on there. Starting always where you want the most coverage. So that it feathers out and just kind of vanishes into nothing. That is not something you can easily do with a brush at all. When I was doing this on my kitchen, there were a lot of times that I had to use the damp cloth to blend out, to remove what I had on there, because I was learning how to do it and make it look the way I wanted it to look. And don't feel bad if you have to do that. It's one of the reasons why I think for this particular technique, for achieving this look, the water-based antiquing, as long as you're applying it in a hand-rubbed manner, is friendlier and easier to do. Just watch to avoid having globs up against the edge. My finger turned there, so I quickly just blended it back out straight. got a little bit of a curve on this one here. I don't want that. So I can get it wet, get it off, and now come back down straight. Make sure when you're going along this edge to get down onto the side too. You don't want to completely coat it, but you just want to make sure it has some color on it too. You don't want that entire valley covered because you want the blue to show through. Oh, wow. Dip my finger too far. And it's okay if it's not, you're not looking for a perfect edge. Antiquing and age doesn't do that. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna lift it up so I can see what I've got. Okay, I've got one spot down there I did not get. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to let it dry. Inevitably, when you're doing something like this, you may get up the next day, you may get up, look at it, see a door or a drawer a week later, a month later, and go, oh, jeez, it doesn't go right. It's in too far. I don't like how that looks. It's too late to wash it off, but it's really easy to fix it. And it's really easy to fix it as you're working on the doors if you do it in one session. So this has the antiquing coming way into the door, which is fine. But if you want more of the bright blue, which is what I wanted in my kitchen, you don't want the streaks coming down this far. To fix it, you're going to use exactly the same technique that I used with applying the antiquing gel, only you're going to apply the paint. You have to do it with your finger going back into the black antiquing if you try to do it with a brush. If you try to just paint out a center here, it's going to show lap marks and it's going to look really bad. So let me show you how to do this. These steps are going to go counter to just about everything you think about with this paint, but it's how it works to blend it all in. First, I'm going to go back over where there's black, and I'm pulling thick to thin up into where I have the antiquing. That's going to leave me jagged spots. Now, stop right then, and you actually roll hard with a dry roller. You want to blend it into that black. Doesn't make sense to start with, but that's what works. If I just put it on there and I don't roll that in, I'm going to get high spots of paint. And because I'm putting so little on over the black, I'm going to have to apply it more than once to hide out what I want rid of. But by pulling it into the antiquing, I get the jagged edges I originally had with the antiquing. It's easier to see when it's upright to make sure you have everything covered that you want covered. Bring it back into the amount of antiquing that you really want. On there. Which is also why it's easier to do this on the doors while they are hanging. That was a spot where it was trying to show a spot of paint. So I added a little bit more paint in that area. The last layers that I put over spots, I don't roll as hard. But you can see there's next to nothing coming up on this roller. But it's letting me soften out the amount of antiquing that I have on this door. It also lets you fix any place when you go back and look at your doors that maybe it's not the way you wanted it to look. We're going to let that dry and then show you what it looks like when it's completely dry. Because it's going to look blotchy right now, and that's scary, but it's going to dry out beautifully.